What up? What up? What up? Y'all know what it is. Action Pack Mondays.
What's going
Giving
on?
up game. Mark and Jay. Oh yeah.
What's going on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hope everybody having an awesome Monday. Just get this week popping. Gonna drop a whole bunch of jewels today. Topic of today is what you know about investing.
What you know? What you know? What you know? Can you hear me? Make sure, because my thing says it's muted.
I can hear you.
Okay.
You can check the double check.
Just make sure. I'm having some technical difficulties lately.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh. Now, there we go. See?
You did it to yourself.
All right, it's Monday.
Can't start off Monday like that.
It's Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. It's time to get back at it. Some of us never stop.
Ever.
But some people feel like they that after working 5 days, they need 2 days off, which is cool.
How about 3? 3?
But yeah, so like you said, today's topic, what you know about business, what you know about investing. And we just want to talk a little bit about what do you know about investing. A lot of people feel like this is an opportunity that they either took advantage of or didn't because they did or didn't know about investing. And it doesn't have to be anything super sophisticated. I mean, it could just be, let's just talk about the stimulus money. Want to talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
All right. I mean, what is it? $1,400, $1,200? I don't know.
Echo. I don't hear echo. You still hear echo, I hear?
Somebody hears an echo.
Yeah, I said she hear echo.
Get these technical issues dealt with.
If it is an echo, that's getting information twice.
We don't look into it right now.
I just open up a browser.
Oh, she says it's fixed. I'm talking until you open up a browser.
Well, that's all I did was open up a browser.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Love a fan. All right, let's get into it, man. We got that worked out now. Let's get into this. Invest.
So, what you know about investing? I don't know. A lot of us, like I said, either took advantage of this opportunity or didn't know what to do. But let's just talk about what you can do. With stimulus money, let's just take that for example. The stimulus money. I mean, there's different things that you could have gotten into. I mean, on the low end, it could have been some stocks or crypto or Bitcoin. I mean, when did the stimulus come out?
Last year it came out
May, June, and this year, actually right now.
Yeah, so let's say, for instance, if you would have took that $1,400 or $1,200, some of it was more because depending on your household, husband, wife, and 2 kids, Like that was almost like $4,800 or close to $5,000. I mean, you could have took some of that money and put it into crypto, into Bitcoin and some of the other altcoins, and that money would have definitely substantially been, in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. But a lot of us don't know about investing, or aren't in the circles of anybody talking about investing. So I think that's the thing we need to talk about too, is being in those environments, being in those areas to actually hear what other people are talking about. Um, there's a saying that you are the sum average of the 5 people you hang around with.
Man,
So you gotta look at your circle. You gotta look at if your friends are doing bad and everybody trying to put two pennies together and everybody robbing Peter to pay Paul, and ain't nobody talking about elevation, and ain't nobody talking about mindset, and ain't nobody talking about doing things differently to get a different result, then you might want to look at your circle. So, you got to be in those spaces. You got to expand your knowledge base. You got to want to know things. You got to want to do things differently. They say if you always done what you all if you what is it? If you always do what you always done, you always get what you always got. So you gotta do something different.
Jewel.
So, but a lot of times, we don't step out of our comfort zone. So
here's the other thing too, like you tapped on about, people not knowing, right? So,
I grew up in the same generation we grew up in, where
mhm.
parents didn't teach us financial
literacy and
and
all
all
that.
that.
And everybody,
Everybody know that, right? So here's the thing, though, right? And when we grew up, like everything that we learned from somebody, or what we read in school in the book or whatever. So in this age, or I should say the last, say, 8 years, technology has advanced so much that there is pretty much not a single piece of information that is out of your reach,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So the excuses is pretty much out the window, right?
True.
So, but in the society and culture, glamorize a lot of things that make people go into these bad habits as far as spending go. As far as spending $300 on a pair of J's as opposed to $50 for a pair of Skechers, right? So I gave this example. I asked somebody how many pair of J's had they bought in the last 5 years.
Mhm.
Somebody told me 10, right? So if you did the math,
Average it out.
you did the math and average it out, just say the average J you bought was $250. Say it was $250, and you bought 10 pair of J's, you spent $2,500. All right, you spent $2,500, and the Jordans didn't put no money in your pocket.
Not a dime.
So right now, P, last year when the market dipped down because of COVID, and
Nike dropped to what, like 80 something bucks?
now uh it was 60. It was like 60 bucks. So now check. This is the difference between like being a consumer and being an owner. You could have took that same $2,500 and bought pretty much about 25 shares, rounded off, 25 to 30 shares of Nike. By the end of 2020, your 2,500 would have been 5,000. Now you ain't never wore a pair of Jordans
That paid you.
that you put on in January and in December, it was double what you paid for. Never happened, ever. It's
So
never happened.
So what you know about investing
So the
is
question of the topic is like what you know about investing. So it doesn't take. We're not talking about no 250,000 or 100,000 or nothing. We talking about the same money that you use every day, whether that be from a 9 to 5 or running your business or you're an entrepreneur or whatever the case, you work in 9 to 5, whatever it is. I guarantee you we can go through your expenses and I can find money that you could invest in things that will give you a return on investment or ROI that you use, that you jack off money with, that you just throw the money away. They don't give you nothing in return. Zero. But people, it's not a space that most people know, understand, or are comfortable with But then again, like I said, that's something that you can't learn. Instead of you watching 2 hours of Real Housewives of Atlanta, you could be learning
Don't
investing
mess with
vehicles.
these Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I know I'm probably gonna get hate mail on that one, but
You mess with Nene.
you get you got. I mean, it's turned into a franchise now. I was telling that to my Real Housewives of Salt Lake, Salt Lake, Utah, for real. But I'm just saying, like, what in your 24 hours a day, what do you allocate your time at? You know what I'm saying? I know some people have family, kids. Some people have jobs. You know what I mean? When you on that downtime, do you use that downtime wisely to learn something that could help you, be in a better position that you are? Because being in that bottom position and not knowing and work a job you don't like and not having enough money to do the things you want to do is way worse on you mentally, physically, and spiritually than it is for you to take the time and develop other skill set, learn new skill set, um, enhance your education level when it comes to financial literacy and everything else.
Yeah.
Those things are just like key. And like I said, in this day, age, and time, you have zero excuses.
Everything is right here. Everything. Like you can YouTube, you can go to Udemy, and literally learn stuff that you will not learn the ins and outs at a 4-year college. Like Udemy, that platform is strictly set up with people who are industry specific and industry specialists. But you can pay a fraction to learn how to code, to learn how to invest, to learn how to do so many different things. But like you were saying, the point is, what are you doing with that time? I mean, a lot of times I talk about, I was reading an article and it talks about a lot of us, it starts with those origins and it starts with our relationship with money. A lot of us, it deals with how we were introduced into money. So that plays a big role because a lot of times, I think back and sometimes in hearing it and seeing it, the introduction to money can be at a scarcity level. Like if you always grew up your parents talking about, turn them lights off, I gotta pay these bills, or you think money grow on trees, and like those are all messages that get burnt into your subconscious. And so now your introduction is to money is different because now you see money as it's scarce. You didn't see money as a tool, as a resource. All you knew was it was bills, 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 bills. So when you grow up, all you know is I gotta pay bills. So that's why as you get older or you get into these circles or you need to get into these circles where people show you that money is a tool, money is a resource, money is leverageable, money gets you into conversations, into spaces that you normally wouldn't be able to get into. So when you learn to use it or you learn to value it differently, not just as a serial consumer, but like you said, as an investor, how can I make this money grow? Because money will be your best employee. Why? Because it'll never get tired. It will never call in late. It's gonna show up every single time if you put it to work in the right spaces. So yeah, I mean, that introduction to money is super key. I truly believe how it was introduced to you as a child.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too, right? Like, don't get caught up in the hype and the internet. Like you see, you be on Instagram, TikTok, wherever, and you might see somebody you follow out here doing whatever. Let's take trucking for instance. You hear somebody say, "Oh, I started with one truck, now I got 10," and they in front of a Ferrari, and they do all this other stuff, and don't think that there's no work that goes into that. It's easy to show the good parts of being in business because it's probably way more bad parts than these good parts. But you have to love it. And I think when you go to start a business instead of trying to follow what somebody else done or is doing, that if you keep it close to home and keep it simple, that's the best entry into the door into business. So let's say, for instance, we use a female, for instance. If a female has daughters or have kids, she grew up and she might, be good at braiding hair. You know what I mean? She might have this little side now. She might braid her sisters, or mom, or aunties, or close friends, and she do it for a little bit of change, right? Like during the pandemic,
I seen a chick that had a hair salon. The hair salon got shut down. She jumped on YouTube and started doing training videos on how to braid.
Won't you braid my
You can
hair?
take something like that you're good at, that you already do. It could be your job. You could be a secretary or administrative assistant at your job, making $10, $12 an hour, and you're good at that. Well, you can take that same skill set and start your business doing the same thing as a freelancer. The same notes, the same uh, phone calls you take, the same Excel sheets you work with, the same Word documents you make, all the stuff that you do at your job for $12 an hour, you can go do it as a freelancer for somebody else. It's a gang of business owners and people out here that need assistance. You could do that same thing for $15, $20 an hour. And if you build up enough customer base to do that, now you making 2, 3 times what you're making at your job, and you got 2, 3 steady clients. You just created yourself an income. So not only did you replace your $12 an hour, you got it increased, which put more money in your pocket that you can still now do more things than what you were doing on $12 an hour budget. Now you got room to invest in stocks and whatever else the case may be. Another example, like people that work a 9 to 5 job has been there for years, that put their money in 401ks and stuff like that. Like, you create your own 401k, but the employment sector makes you see now it is, if you want to talk the benefits of, if you in that kind of corporate structure where your company match your 401, so to say, you know what I'm saying? I get that. I hear that a lot too, where people say, well, my company matched my 401. Okay. Well, if you look at the stocks in which your company put that money into and the return,
it's usually S&P.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if it is S&P is usually 8 to 10% return a year. You can create your own portfolio with stocks that pay dividends like AT&T and all these, and make your own portfolio. You can go to any trade broker, open up an IRA account. It's the same account that your 401k is in, and you can pick out stocks that you can put your money in and diversify across and make more than what you put in your 401k, keeping it with the contribution that they matching with. But like I said, it's about educating yourself. Some people, I don't want to deal with all that. Okay, well, then you cool with people, the system, or I should say, or how it's structured, working off of you. Because that's basically what happens. They charging you fees. They taking a percentage. They doing all this, and they making 10, 20x on your money than what you're making on.
Yep.
So again, what do you know about investing? Are you just giving them your money because you don't want to deal with it, because you don't want to be knowledgeable of where your finances and how your finances work? Same way, I mean, we can play this game all the way across the board from buying property, understanding what a mortgage is, and how you could buy, people. It's always some traditional stigma on some action when it comes to life and financing and investing. It's always some traditional stigma. This is how you're supposed to do it, or this is how I was told how to do it. And that is not the only way to know how to do something. That's the only way that's the way that you accept it. That's the way that you adopt it, and you just run with it without having to change it. And you see it a lot with older people. Believe me, everybody gets old. So the same way your parents got old and everything else, they told you these traditional things of this is how this is done, this is what I did, this is what you're supposed to do because this is what worked for me. Don't carry over from generation to generation. The principles do, but the concept don't, because technology changes, system changes, money changes, prices changes, life changes. So the same principles that people were using in 1950 does not apply to the same today. Now, your morals and integrity and all that, yes. But from financial perspectives and everything, like you can call them millennials, you can call them Gen X, you can call them whatever you want to. But it's not the same thing.
2 plus 2 is always 4.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's way more out here in 2021 for individuals to be self-independent out of any system, unless that's something you love and you want to do. Hey, if you want to be broke, you say, okay, I want to get caught. Okay, cool. Nothing wrong with that. You want to make $30,000 a year put on a uniform because you love it? Cool. You want to go to law school because you want to be an attorney, you want to help people, or whatever the case may be? Cool. There's nothing wrong with any of that. You can have a 9 to 5 and a 6 to 10, and you can make your 6 to 10 a 9 to 5. It's a preference, but it still doesn't make not having your literacy in place to understand what it is that you do. Because if you don't, when you do, if you don't know about money and you get some money, you just gonna jack that money off.
That's why I said it. How was you introduced to money? You gotta have, you literally gotta have a relationship with how money works and how it makes you feel. Because when I think about it, like there's times when growing up, it used to seem like money was like not having enough of it is a problem, but the feeling behind that can drive you either, like you said, in the scarcity mindset or in the mindset to where, okay, I need to figure out how to be in a better position. Because our parents a lot of times, and their parents, they didn't have the right structure, they didn't have the right tools. Because you gotta remember, this whole system has a level, it's very antiquated. In other words, it's set up, it was the school system itself was set up in the industrial age, so it's antiquated, so it's old. Like I talked to my little nephews and cousins, and even my own daughter. She questioned, do I gotta go to college? And like, you're not gonna go to college and just take history. You're not gonna go to college and take something that you cannot build upon and have a successful career. Because a lot of times college doesn't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. It does not. It does not teach you those tools and things that you need, because an entrepreneur is a person that brings a solution to a problem. That's all it is. It's a person that knows how to bring a solution to a problem and knows how to monetize it and scale it and put it on a mass level a lot of times. So I want to tap into something you talked about as far as um, different businesses that you can start. And I have a whole list. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but it's 42 businesses. And just chime in. 42 businesses you can start for under $500. This is 42. I'm not going to give all 42, but I'm going to talk about some of them. And these are things you probably like. I have some good skill set in. For under $500, you can start a digital marketing company. You can start a resume service company.
But let's go back. Let's go back to, I'm gonna drop some jewels as you name them off, right?
Okay.
So all right, digital marketing. We all know what that is. Y'all on social media every day,
Mm-hmm.
posting different stuff, video content, whatever the case may be. And this is what I mean by, it's gonna tie into what we talked about as far as technology today as opposed to in the past. I'm gonna give you some keywords. Make sure y'all write this down. And y'all go get on Google. Google is your friend, and you can tie it in together. So let's just say you're good at social media and you like social media, you like posting, you like making content and all that stuff, right? You get you some customers to do it, whatever it is. Friends that got hair salons, whatever the case. I'm gonna give you one keyword: white label.
Yep.
So you write that down, white label. So now we're gonna break down the barriers of, I can start a digital marketing company for over 500. Well, what does that consist of? Well, setting up you don't even have to set up an LLC off the muscle. You can do it as a sole proprietorship just to start off, get you some clients.
Okay, you gonna give them too much.
No. I'm
gonna give them too much. I ain't gonna even get to half of the list.
No, you're gonna get
break
them
all down.
I'm filling them with the keywords.
All right.
White label. Write that down. Google white label digital marketing. That's you selling it, somebody else doing the work for you. All right, move on.
All right. So that first one ties into social media consultant, SEO, digital ad consultant, kind of in that same genre.
Yep.
Resume service. Like, you can, if you you go with writing resumes, you go with breaking stuff down, you can go online, build out a template structure, and present yourself as one that writes resumes for somebody.
Boom. All right. You got the resumes.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Go online, Google resume templates. If you're good at writing, your English and your grammar is tight, and you know how to write resumes, you did a bunch of jobs, go get resume template. And now you can customize those resumes and make them unique.
Yep.
To separate you apart from everybody else. Go ahead. Boom.
Bam. And then, sell them for $5, $10 or whatever it is.
And Fiverr. Fiverr.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud? Fiverr.
Music lessons, arts and craft instructor, pet sitting, a garden consultant. I ain't never heard of that one. Helping people start backyard nurseries, business planning services, online researcher.
I like that one.
What?
I just said Google is your friend.
Yeah.
So if you're on the internet all day and you looking at stupid TikTok videos and all this other old stuff, you could actually make a business doing research for other people. And most researches is done through Google now.
Yep.
Jeez.
I know a few people that's doing this. Essential oils and soap maker. That's been popular.
I would be a customer. I'm saying
Candles.
I'm say it again.
You know,
white label.
White label.
You don't even have to make it. Somebody will make it for you.
Check this out. I know somebody that's doing this. I'm like, dang, this is brilliant. She's a vintage clothes dealer. Guess where she gets her stuff from? Salvation Army and all these other places that you wouldn't even think. And she's finding vintage clothes and then just relisting them on her Instagram and selling them. She probably paid $2 for it and then she sell it for $10. That's an $8 profit.
Somebody's trash is another man's treasure.
Image consultant. Some of y'all need one. So y'all be walking out the door and forget y'all didn't look in the mirror. But image consultant. Makeup artist, personal trainer, know a couple of them. Furniture repair, handy person, bike repairs, event and party planners, wedding planners, jumping castle rentals.
Yeah, that was one of mine. That was one of mine.
You know, the jump castle rentals. I mean, for under $500, these are all businesses you could have started during the pandemic, but you can still start now. Like, it's not too late. What else? A small business coach, a freelance photographer, video production business, apartment prep services, app developer, marketing consultant, affiliate marketing consultant, eBay seller, website developer. Bam, white label all day.
White label.
You can hire.
Sales, not good at design.
Hire somebody on Upwork or Fiverr that's doing the work for you, but you presenting it as if it's you. Find out how much they charge. They charge you $250. All right, you selling websites for $350. Bam, you made $100. Rinse and repeat.
Nothing.
So that's just to name a few of businesses you can start for under $500. Probably less than that.
Everything is a hustle.
Whatever it is.
I mean, literally, I'm not talking about in the grammatical word of how you hear it in rap songs and how people use it loosely. I'm saying if you a hustler means that you can sell anything.
There's some freeze. You didn't freeze, did you?
No.
Okay. I don't see you no more.
You don't see me?
Well, mine you did. It happens every time. Because even here on yeah, you ain't there. No bueno. All right, y'all. This is the Mark Miller Show for now. I don't know what happened to Jay. He'll be back. He paused for station identification. We gotta pay some network bills, and they just came to pick him up. But at the hustles, man, you like, if you didn't develop a hustle and come out of COVID with a new hustle, a new grind, or new opportunity, it's not that the opportunity wasn't there. It's like you just don't have the drive or desire. Like, you just super duper comfortable. You were good with the little $400 extra that the government was giving you. And most of y'all found out that, when you went to go file your taxes, it's income. So a lot of y'all were shocked about that. Like, this is income? I thought this was free money. But they did bail you out. They did bail a lot of you guys out because they said the first 10,400 or 500 was forgivable. So a bunch of y'all was like, shoosh, you know, I ain't got to claim this as income. But my point is, most people got comfortable with just what the government was giving you, and a lot of people just sat on their butts, didn't want to go back to work, and didn't have a need or a desire to develop any new skill sets. And this was the opportunity. You had everyone's attention. You know, people were at home. People were you know, stuck in their houses and looking for things to do. And everyone was online. Everyone was looking what was going on online. So that was the opportunity for you to push a product, push an opportunity, engaging folks that normally couldn't do things that they used to do. So yeah, so if you didn't develop something, pick up a new hustle. That's kind of what, you know, what we here at Access Capital to do, to help with them ideas, to help with those infant stages of business, and kind of guide you and give you the resources, or be that guide or that resource that you might need in that path to success in your journey, because we all need it. We all need it. There's a lot that we do know, and there's a lot that we don't know, but we're in an environment, we're in a circle of other individuals, business owners, other entrepreneurs that are crushing it, that have success in the e-com space, real estate, stock, options, trading, you know, just a number of things we're able to figure out how we can monetize. You know, you want to be able to utilize your time, you know, effectively and efficiently. But at the end of the day, there has to be a level of impact. I mean, that drives you even more when you can change lives. You can make a lot of money, and that's cool. I'm all for making a lot of money. But if I make a gang of money and I have no impact, what's it for? You know, I'd rather have that level of impact, have more impact than have more money, because that's the treasure that, you know, you're gonna have stored up. That's gonna make the money you do make, because the money will come. It will automatically come when you start to be impactful. And so you're not, when people be like, I'm chasing the bag. Well, if you got to chase it, why is it always leaving you? You got to think about that when you say that, I'm chasing this bag. Why is the bag all, why you running after it? Why is it always leaving you? You know, you want it to come to you. And how does that happen? You position yourself. You know, you position yourself for the energy and, you know, the blessings, or the universe, whatever you call it and believe, to be able to attract those things, by way of the things that you do, by way of the deeds and the people that you're around. So, like I said, there's plenty of things you can do, as a side hustle. It's things you can do to invest. You know, this series was what you know about investing. And just because you didn't grow up and it wasn't taught and it wasn't spoken at the dinner table and it wasn't a normal conversations that you weren't privy to, because a lot of us weren't. You know, a lot of our parents didn't grow up with generational wealth or access. You know, most of us are WIC kids, grew up on WIC, you know, women, infants, and children. Most of us grew up, you know, sometimes on a level of Section 8, some type of public housing, food stamps, government assistance, you know. So this is the opportunity I petition most of us, if not all of us, to really pay attention to that. Yeah, the government is talking all about inclusion and economic divide and racial equality, and that's fine and dandy, yes, on a broad scale. But what are you going to do? What is your household going to do? What is your leadership and your direct circle of influence? What does that look like? Where's that impact? Don't wait on the government. You know, you take the issue by the horns and you guide it. You set the tempo. You dictate. You know what the narrative is, but you got to take action. And if you don't know where that is, you know, tap in with us. Reach out to us. If it's not something about business, you know, initially it could just be mindset. It could just be you want to have a conversation with some solid dudes or some people that speak in a language that you want to start talking about. You want to be in these conversations. It don't even have to be about, you know, business per se. It could just, because it starts with the mindset. It starts with the you, with the person. You know, it starts with those issues. Heard someone say, when you talk about the issue, and if you slow down the word issue, it sounds like it's you. So it's you. So that's where that personal development needs to start. It starts with you. You know, a lot of times it's not everybody else. The issue is you. And it's where you want to be. It's where you are. It's where you're trying to get. And it's what you're doing to get there. It's where you've been. It's who you hang around with. It's who you have that circle of influence. So we ask that question, what you know about business? What you know about investing? You don't have to know anything. Except you gotta have a desire. You gotta wake up and operate. And I tell my kids this all the time. Operate with a level of curiosity. Be curious on today. Don't just accept what it brings you. Be curious about what else is new. What else can I do? You know, a lot of kids right now, including mine, are being impacted by working from home. I mean, working from home for adults, but being schooled at home, and it's not the same. And they got these bad habits and these bad routines, you know. And so, it's up to us as parents, as leaders, as influencers, to kind of, shake that off, because, those things that you do consistently turn into those habits, and then those habits turn into standards. And they can be bad habits and bad standards, or they can be things that benefit you and the people that you deal with on a daily basis. So, we wanted, this episode just to really just drop some jewels, drop some information in the space of investing, and what you can do with the stimulus money that a lot of us are getting, not just burning through it, hitting up Vegas, doing, retarded, stupid stuff. But definitely, let me give you some ideas. I took a picture of it. So somebody posted your $1,200 stimulus, if you would have put it in crypto or Bitcoin, is worth, it would have been worth around $10,400. This was April 15th, 2020. That's $600 stimulus check. If you would have put it in Bitcoin, would have been worth 10 grand. That's crazy. But these are the things we're talking about, being in those spaces. You got to want to be in those spaces. You got to be curious. But I get it. If you're comfortable and you stagnant, and you don't want to see growth, and a lot of people don't like growth, because in order for something to grow, it has to be under a level of pressure, like a muscle. A muscle won't grow until it's under tension. A lot of people don't like tension. I like tension. I want to grow. I don't want to be the same. People be like, you act different. You ain't the same. I ain't supposed to be. If I'm growing, I ain't supposed to be the same. But
guess who's back?
Oh, he's back. So this is no longer the Mark Miller show. Just playing. He's back.
I had to go through the back door, hop the fence.
I don't know what you was over there doing.
Duck the dog. No, what happened?
But hopefully, our intent and our impact is to bring value, to help you think differently, to help your conscious mind deal with the subconscious ways that we've been programmed, because that's what it takes. We are giving you this information that you are consciously right now hearing, that can help change what you've heard all these other years. The subconscious. It's a battle. It's a constant battle. We deal with it. Deprogram. We deal with it. So I get it. We get it. We get it. We definitely get it. But like you said, you don't have an excuse that you don't have the information or you didn't know. So it's what you gonna do with it. How you gonna execute?
Money everywhere.
Gonna be about it.
Man, there's money everywhere. Like, this is a new thing that I'm on, right? And it's crazy how excited I am about it, like I'm a little 5-year-old or something. But NFTs, you're gonna start hearing this a whole lot more, because it falls right in line with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all that. And you probably seen in the news where you dudes made 36 million and hundreds of, I think the highest somebody made was like 40 million. But everybody else spent like 100,000, a million, 2 million. So the new thing is, it's like digital art. So people are authenticating art pieces, art, certain things with crypto. So, not to get all into the technical aspects of it, but that's a whole other conversation. But basically,
Whole
it's
nother
authenticated
conversation.
by the blockchain, which is basically encoded to say that this is your thing, kind of like traditional art, where like when you sign a painting at the bottom with your signature to know that it's authentic that you did it. So like the NBA took these like gift images, the same gift that you when you texting and you create a gift to send to somebody with a joke or reference to something you guys was talking about. The NBA took like clips of players in different games throughout their career dunking on people, a bomb pass or street point shot, and sold them as NFTs and made like 250 million in a week. Some of these NFTs was collectibles, and that's what they are, basically collectibles. Some of them sold for like 250,000 a piece. It's crazy. Like, I mean, it's all kind of just like art, just like paintings and digital art that people made in Photoshop and things like that. Like, Jack Dorsey was selling his first tweet. It's crazy. Like Batman figures, Marvel figures, Pokemon figures, figures and stuff, man. Like go check it out. One of the apps is called VV. You can get in the download store, VEVE. But here's the hustle in it, right? So since we talking about investment, if you go sign up on these sites and you get on the list, they call drops. So on certain dates, a month or sometimes 2 months, whatever, they might have. We use like we gonna use DC for instance. They might have Batman, and it might be 5 different Batmans. So you got Batman 1 through 5. If you buy Batman 1, which is the rarest one because it's one of the 5, it might you say you pay $250 for that one Batman. When the other 4 sales and they're all gone, your number one Batman just became more valuable than what you paid for it. So if you paid 250 for it and the rest of them are gone, you can sell that same one on a secondary market, and you might be able to sell it for $500 or $1,000. So you just flip your 250 on a digital collectible, and it's all types of them. I mean, you got Harley Quinn, DC, they just start doing NFL, and this is just at the beginning. So, like, if you dive off into it and you get an understanding of it and you see how it works, and you go on these sites and you set up your account, and when these drops come out, side money. You on your phone all day, every day anyway. Some of them, they even have like Ghostbusters. So if you in the older age bracket, like those is like nostalgic things. So you know what I mean that you saw when you were growing up as a kid, the Goonies and all them type of shows like that. I'm dating myself, but who cares? But you know what I mean,
it's that
that's
new
what's on.
that new
And here's the other
technology.
thing too, right? Like even if like say if you older and that ain't really your thing, right? You know, got into the old age, but certain things don't move you like you used to. Some of y'all got kids. Instead of having your kids on the PlayStation or kids doing, not saying they can't play sports or nothing else, introduce them to this type of stuff because this is what they own. This is the thing they into. The what's the character that turned into lightning with the gold hair? Um, all the, I can't even think what it is.
I don't know what you talking about, bro. You own.
That's how. See, that's how we talk to old. That's when we have to talk to old cats. See, we be like, what the hell is that?
Who, Sonic Hedgehog? Oh.
Nah, bro, that's you.
Flash.
That's your generation, bro.
I don't know.
I can't think what it is for nothing right now. But anyway, like this is the stuff that kids already own. So if you show them something that they already like and love, and they tell them they can make money from it, they gonna be all into it.
Absolutely.
All into it.
Absolutely.
And you start them early. You know what I mean? You showing them now how they can make money doing this. And as they get older, they gonna be their interest is gonna be peaked. They gonna take it and run with it.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I was looking at buying. It popped up on my phone. What was it? It was buying crypto domains.
Yeah, I told you about
just buying them up. It just popped up. I'm like, ooh.
Remember I told you when I said I missed out when they first started launching them. I told you I only had bought one. And
no, it was a few. I just looked at. I'm like,
no, I'm saying when they first came out with that domain extension.
Oh, .crypto.
Yeah, the .crypto extension. When they first came out with it, I'd be so caught up doing other stuff. My intention was to go buy a crap ton of different ones and just pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when other people finally get up, and that's what I'm saying about when you in circles and you read and you stand up on current events and you stand in the mix. When certain things like these happen, it's a money opportunity. You might think that's it. Thanks, Aya. Naruto.
What?
The Naruto cartoon. That's what one do be lightening up and all that shooting the lightning.
I don't even know still.
All right, man, we need to talk old cats right now.
Naruto?
Yeah.
No.
But I bet you if I show you a character, you'd be like, oh, him.
Yeah, I'm sure it would, but Naruto sound like dude down the street.
Yeah, I got 4 nieces and nephews. So,
Naruto.
But like I was saying though, like things like that, like if you stand abreast on certain things and you instead of reading junk and you reading something of value, sometimes that reading the value can get you ahead of the curve. And when it gets you ahead of the curve, it be money opportunities in there. And that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. Because you like, okay, you remember when .com blew up. .com is the most popular domain thing that you could buy. You see domain names sometimes it be domains worth 20 grand. So if they come out with new extensions and as big as crypto is, and now they come out with a .crypto, you already know every company that's related to crypto, from the NFT companies and everybody else that's coming out, gonna want a .crypto name, the blockchains and everybody else. So if you just start buying domains up, where they $20, $30, say you spend $2,000 and you bought 50 domains. Now you can put those domains up for sale. If somebody come along and want to buy, you never know. You might make $20,000. Wake up one morning and make $20,000. So the domain it only cost you $20.
Look, I just saw this hustle on Instagram. It's these dudes. They went into these different neighborhoods. It's on Instagram, and you know how the tennis shoes be on the power lines.
Yeah.
These dudes went to Home Depot, got some some safety equipment, 2 ladders, hard hats, and went into these neighborhoods, cut the shoes down, cleaned them up, and sold all these retro and was selling retro shoes.
See, hustle.
But the dudes was some white dudes, and they went into the hood neighborhood, shot down all these shoes. Went to Home Depot, got all the equipment, cut them down, cleaned them up, and was selling them. A hustle. Like, some retro J's or some hot ups. Like, it's crazy. Hey, but
that's a hustle too. It's cats that restore shoes.
Yeah, my little cousin, that's another thing, flipping shoes. That's a huge space right now, flipping shoes. I got some of my old stuff. I ain't ready to let go. But if you out there and you got some decent shoes, some retros, that's another hustle you can get into, flipping shoes, and then finding your lane as to these different cats that's selling them, buying them in bulk or getting those deals, and flipping them like anything else.
I mean, something simple like just wholesale,
supply and demand.
Go get a reseller license. It don't cost nothing to get. Well, some places.
What's up?
It's like less than $100 sometimes if they do charge you from your local city.
Selling pallets.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many. Like a resale license by itself, right, is more valuable than the business itself. So you can actually get a wholesale license.
Gives you access.
Because you can actually get a wholesale license and not even have a business. You get a wholesale license in your own name. Now, with that wholesale license, this is like, I'm telling you, man, like this is hustling right here. You get a wholesale license. Now, I'm gonna hit the women, because women, I think women are out hustle dudes. Dudes do a lot of talking, but women put in work. Look, you get a wholesale license. You get a wholesale license. That means you can go to get anything wholesale. It's not around one particular thing. So like people get a wholesale license. They do it just to get hair products. But you can take that wholesale license and get anything.
At wholesale.
At wholesale. So check it. You can go get you can go get wigs, you can go get hair, you can go get eyelashes, and then you can go sell that to the people who actually do those things. Braid hair, wear wigs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hustle. You can go get hair products and flip the hair product. You can go get pallets of all type of different stuff.
Buy it in bulk and flip it.
Buy it in bulk and flip it.
Electronics, TVs.
You can do that on the weekend.
Yep.
That stuff you can do on the weekend. You can go get t-shirts, sundresses, all that stuff from downtown and yard sale on the weekend. You know you're going to, depending on where you live at, you know on the weekend all of it's going to sell.
Yep.
The same places where you go in, like especially like in hood areas where you go get the t-shirts $2 for $10, whatever the case may be from the Asians, you can go get them same shirts they get. You go get that wholesale life, you go get the same shirts they go get. And these are just little hustles.
Absolutely. Gems. All
Thank
day.
That's a cash app. That's an Access Capital cash app donation one right there.
Yep, no doubt.
I just put about 50 people in business right there.
Right there. With that wholesale license alone, you can get in and start flipping stuff individually in bulk, pallets,
candy from Costco,
all kind of stuff.
Free, no
all
taxes.
Kind of stuff.
Give it to your kids. Your kids can sell candy bars, all that. This is just little minute stuff that could generate you an extra $500,000 a month that you could take and put it into stuff that in the stocks of stuff you use every day. Because everything that you consume and touch every day, 9 times out of 10 is on the stock market. Even from toilet paper, the stuff you wipe your butt with, napkins, all the stuff that you buy at the grocery store. Look up the Koch brothers, Koch, and look at all the companies they own. And when you see them, all that stuff is on the stock market. So why not, if you're going to use those things, why not invest in those things so those things can pay you dividends and get an ROI on your money that you spend it anyway. You go to Chipotle, people go to Chipotle to eat, spend $8, $10 on a burrito bowl. Why not go put a couple $100 into Chipotle stock?
And you can do that on Robinhood unless you do fractional investing. So yeah, the one share might be $1,000 and you only got $100. So then you'll just have a fraction of that share with your $100. But here's the caveat. As that $1,000 share goes up, guess what else goes up? Your $100. So I think that pretty much concludes this episode of What You Know About Investing. So I feel a lot of you know about investing now. At least have an idea, a general idea that you can start that path to investing without us, preferably with us. We'd love to help. We'd love to have you guys chime in. Go to our Instagram and book a free 30-minute consult. We'll reiterate this stuff. We'll talk about new stuff. We'll just play around with mindset because that's where it starts. Agreed?
And if you get a hustle from this time, if you get from this podcast and you start a hustle, man, hit us in the DM or tag us.
Yeah, we want to know
so we can see that you got your hustle on.
Absolutely. So if that's it, this concludes episode number 4. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully we brought some value. Hopefully we gave you inside access.
See you next Monday, 3 o'clock. Be on time.
Peace.